The old Blackwood house stood at the end of Willow Creek Road, a skeletal thing against the encroaching forest. Locals whispered of it, their voices hushed and eyes wide. Tales of strange occurrences, of shadows that moved on their own, of chilling wails echoing through the night. I was a skeptic, of course, a writer, always on the hunt for the next big story. I saw the Blackwood house as a golden opportunity, a chance to debunk the myths or perhaps to find something truly terrifying. The house was as imposing as the rumors suggested. It seemed to leer at me from the overgrown garden. Inside, the house in a timeless state of decay. The air was heavy with the scent of old wood and something else, a faint metallic tang that clung to the nostrils. As days turned into nights, no spectral wailings, just the creak of old wood and the whisper of the wind through the skeletal trees. Yet an unease crept into me, a sense of being watched. Shadows seemed to shift and lengthen, taking on grotesque forms in the flickering candlelight. One night, as I was examining a peculiar symbol carved into the wall of the attic, I heard a sound. A soft scratching like claws on wood. It came from the wall behind me. Heart pounding, I turned, but there was nothing. Just the endless expanse of the attic filled with shadows. Then I saw it. A sliver of light growing larger by the second. A hole was appearing in the wall, a perfect circle as if bored from within. And then an eye. A single glowing yellow eye filled with a cold, inhuman intelligence. Then I saw it. A sliver of light growing larger by the second. A hole was appearing in the wall, a perfect circle as if bored from within. And then an eye. A single glowing yellow eye filled with a cold, inhuman intelligence. Terror seized me. I stumbled backward, my mind racing. Before I could react, a long skeletal hand reached through the hole. Its fingers were like gnarled branches, each tipped with a sharp black claw. I screamed and ran, my feet pounding on the old wooden stairs. I burst out of the house into the cold night air. The moon cast eerie shadows and the woods seemed to close in around me. I could hear it behind me, the scratching growing louder, closer. I ran until my legs could carry me no more, collapsing at the edge of Willow Creek. The water was black and inviting, promising oblivion. As the creature's screech echoed through the woods, I closed my eyes and let the current pull me under. I don't know how long I was unconscious. When I awoke, I was lying on the bank, shivering and drenched. The moon was still high in the sky, casting an ethereal glow over the landscape. The Blackwood house was gone, vanished without a trace. There was no sign of the creature, no evidence of anything supernatural, but the fear remained, a cold, persistent dread that wouldn't leave me. And sometimes, in the dead of night, I can still hear that scratching sound, coming from the depths of my mind. The following days were a blur of fear and denial. The Blackwood house had vanished to a small town where the only shadows were those cast by the setting sun. But the peace I sought was elusive. Nightmares plagued me, filled with the scratching sound and the cold yellow eye. As I delved deeper into the story, strange things began to happen. Objects moved on their own. Shadows danced in the corners of my eyes. The metallic tang I had smelled in the Blackwood house was back. Fear gnawed at me, but I was determined to finish the story. It was my only hope for redemption. One night, as I sat at my desk, surrounded by pages of manuscript, I heard it. The scratching sound. It was coming from the wall behind me. My heart pounded in my chest as I turned to face the darkness. And there it was. The hole, the same perfect circle as before. And the eye? Then, everything went black. When I woke, I was in a hospital bed. My body was covered in bruises, and there was a cast on my arm. Doctors told me I had suffered a severe panic attack, a breakdown brought on by stress.